and welcome if you are new here. My name is Hannah from Handmade Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you the unboxing of the new xTool screen printer. Now, I have been kindly sent this by xTool. I've worked with them previously. I love their products. I have the xTool F1 and the xTool M1, and today I'm going to be using the xTool screen printer with the D1 Pro 10-watt machine. Now I'm going to be showing you the whole process from unboxing the screen printer in the multicolour kit, and then I'm going to be showing you how I actually laser engrave my designs on the screen prints themselves. So without further ado, let's head straight into the video. Is cup of tea at the ready. The second part we're going to do is look in the xTool manual. The first page is literally about meeting your xTool screen printer. Moving on to the first part is how to mount the screen onto the frame. So this is what I'm going to do. So let's make a little bit of room. I'm going to move some of these frames over here. Okay, we're going to start by flipping it over so the flat panels are on the flat surface. Just so as to open all of these clips, and it says tip, ensure that the corrugated board is placed fully onto the frame and that the screen is on the top of the frame. Do not press the screen when mounting it. I've got 3 or 4 frames within each packet. That's I thought there was going to be 1 per packet and there isn't. That's actually super handy and really useful. There's more screens here than I actually realised. I think because I use traditional methods, I only ever bought 1 frame before, so that's kind of what I was expecting. I'll pop those down there for now. Corrugated sheet in the bottom is how, and then we're going to put these panels in. So we have the 2 long sides. Fix the other 3 the same way. So I just want to push I want to find that groove, essentially. I know what I was doing wrong. I just wasn't putting enough force. You don't need a lot of force, but you do need to have some force to kind of, I don't know, you can feel it when you're doing it. You click it in place, you find where it is in the groove, and then you fold it over flat. Perfect. And let's do the same with this side. In all honesty, that did just take me probably 5 minutes to figure out. I don't really know why. I just needed to feel what it was that I was doing, but it feels pretty simple now. I know they've got grooves which you can't really see on camera, but they've got grooves which just make sure they sit right in the pocket. I'm just going to, there you go, once you find it you can do it easy enough. Clamp that down, fold these pins in, there we go, and then once my screen is done, I'm going to turn it around and I'm just going to lift that cardboard out. There we go, let's remove that cardboard because we no longer need it. And there we have our first screen print. As you can hear, sounds a little bit like a drum. And the next part now for that is to actually laser cut the design. Because I'm not lasering today, you'll see this in the second part of the video. I'm just going to go ahead and have a look at this part of the screen print. So if we bring this part in front of me at the press itself, so it does come with a wooden base, and they've got magnetic clips so it'll keep it all in place. There you go, pretty much finds its place straight away because it is on magnetic clips and they are pretty loud. And then this is a sticky mat to keep your design in place. I'm just going to remove the one layer and stick this to the wooden base. And I'm not going to remove the top layer for now, just because I'm not going to actually print just yet. Then it's a case of looking at our frame. So I'm going to open those clips, and it is a case of just aligning the clips. I'm going to press down. The next part, I do need to put that knob on here. I just need to have a look where it attaches to. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory, just screws in there. To do the next part and to laser the design onto the screen, I am going to need a different laser machine. xTool do advise to have either the xTool D1 or the S1, which is the larger machine. Hello and welcome to part 2 of the video. So today I'm going to actually be laser engraving the designs onto the screens. Now you may have noticed I've got my mic plugged in, and apologies for the first part of the video. It wasn't until I played it back that I realised I hadn't plugged the cable into the main part of the camera, honestly. But there's going to be a bit of a funny joke. I've actually got a design ready to print later today. Anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to grab the screen and we're going to head over to the xTool D1 machine. Now, thank you again to xTool for kindly sending the machine to me. It is here and set up, as you can see. It is a really good size machine, and that will allow us to laser onto these screens. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a screen and my laptop, and we're going to head over to the machine. I have got my test screen here, and as you can hear, it's got that nice kind of drum feel to it. I did accidentally do a test cut, so this will be my test cut one. I burnt through the screen, but we're going to rectify that now today and just do a few quick test examples. Slide this under, and with this machine it did come with a guide that you can place under to simply click and keep your screen into place. So that just clicks into there. Nothing over designed, really simple, just slots into place. So I'm just going to turn the machine on. It is as simple as the switch on the side, and as you can see there is now power to the unit. Let's now grab my laptop. Okay, laptop is here. I'm going to use the USB plug to simply pop it in, and here is my xTool space. Now I just need to click connect device, and it has recognised the xTool D1 Pro 2. Now to start, I'm just going to do a few shapes, just so we can see if I've got the right settings. Okay, so a laser flat, we're going to go and click a screen print, and we are going to click engrave, user defined materials. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find the coated screen 100 mesh. I'm going to go ahead with the recommended settings just to see what they say, and I'm going to click frame. Let's do another one of that, and that looks okay. So I'm going to click process. Before I click process, I'm going to go ahead and put my very snazzy glasses on. Are you ready? Let's go. I have just paused that so I can take my glasses off now, but I'm actually going to just cancel that because I should from here see enough if those settings are correct. If you can see, I don't know if that's too close, excusing that one, but you can see we can't see any of the blue left, and it's actually really clear. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and print my test engraving piece now and actually go ahead for the real thing. So I'm quite confident with those settings. That looks pretty good to me. As soon as I'm happy with that, I'm going to put it into the machine with the flat side up, if that makes sense. So not that bit where it bevels in. We're going to put the flat side up, and we're just going to slot it straight into those fixing plate. There we go, as simple as that. So I'm going to have to actually put my design down the other end of the screen. Sorry, I was concentrating there. Right, what I'm going to do now is show you down onto my computer what it is that I'm doing. So let's zoom and bring you in over here. Right, let's fix you right there. Okay, so I'm just going to try something as simple as my logo for now. So I have it in, here we go. There's my logo. I'm going to trace the image, click save, move that aside so I've got my cut lines, delete the image, and now I want to actually go ahead and click engrave. I'm going to have to reflect this because I need it to read backwards, and I also want to put it on its side to print. So let's have a look. We need to make it a bit smaller. I'm going to put it about there because I can always mask off the screen. So happy with that. Coated screen, yes. Set to engrave, yes. Frame, so I'll click frame, then going back to the laser, and let's zoom you out a little bit. I'm going to click this button here to see if I've aligned that right within my frame. So this is essentially what I'm seeing with my glasses on. I can probably take these off because I'm not looking over there at the moment and I'm looking to you, but I predict that's going to take a while. I'll let you know the full time at the end of when it's engraved. So I'm just going to potter around the studio now and just get everything ready for the next part of the screen printing process. I have found the first thing that I'm going to print onto just because of easiness. So I I embroidered this t-shirt a while ago. It's just black, and I did some simple black effective embroidery onto a black t-shirt, but what I'm going to actually do is screen print onto the back of it just to test the first print and see how the outcome is. Hello, it has finished. Let's put the light on. Ta-da! It is finished, and I am going to just pick it up and show you what the result looks like. So this is it. What I'm going to do for better results is actually blow the air so that there's no debris or anything in the screen, and making it as clear as possible. I know this isn't always the case, but we're very fortunate here that I have an air compressor machine. I mean, it runs off a really big machine. Don't expect anyone to necessarily have that, but you can get compressed cans of air in similar concepts. They are worth having if you have a laser machine, because I do use them in terms of if I'm sanding and I'm rubbing down, I can blow the air out and it creates a much crystal clear result. So that's what I'm going to do now. Here is the t-shirt that I'm going to use. Let's clip the frame in. That should clip in nicely. Those down, and then I'm going to get my t-shirt and place where I want the text, about there, and I'm going to push that down, and then I'm just going to lock it into place. Next is the fun part, so we're going to go with some ink, and that's glow in the dark. I don't think we're going to use that. We could do, should we do gold glitter? What do we think? Should we do gold glitter, or should I just do white? Have I got any white? I don't think I've even got any white. Okay, this is the bit where I get a little bit kind of nervous, I guess. Right, this looks a nice consistency. So I'm going to take the ink on the knife and just spread it across the top. This brings me back to my college days at art school when I used to do this, and I haven't done it in such a long time. I'm going to lift this up and just get some ink in the screen. Okay, and then I am just going to go for it. So I'm going to put it back down. And okay, that's done a lot more successful than I thought. Okay, not bad. I mean, I did go lift it up, but that's just because it was a first experiment. And you can see that I've done the embroidery on the other side, so it's a little bit, what would you call it? Bumpy, where I wouldn't usually do that, but let's bring you over here. So here are the first results, which I can already see straight away what I can improve on, but the glitter gold is lovely. You can't quite see it in person, but it is shimmering. Okay, that one is again much better, and happy with those results. So let me show you for the purpose of this video. Ta-da! That is the print that we've got. What I'm going to actually do now is print one of the designs that I wanted to put onto a t-shirt, and whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to experiment and do a few more prints of these. But yeah, so far really happy with the results. I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'll probably come back at the end and heat press the rest of them. Right, here's the screen I prepared earlier. I am just going to clamp that into where I need to go. Then I'm going to head back to my computer for the design. This design is a bit of a fun one. So I've got here, always do a mic test, which I'm going to flip it first before I do anything else. So I'll make sure it's right, which is so apparent because everything after what I did last time, I then need to rotate it so that it's the right size, and then I'm going to just size accordingly. Let's frame that and see what that does. I'm happy with the framing, so I'm going to click process, and then it takes me to the next screen. I'm going to click start, and we're going to click go, and then it's glasses on. So whilst that one is laser cutting the screen, I'm just going to go ahead and just try this onto one of my parcel boxes. Am I even recording? Yes, I am. Sorry, I didn't think I was recording then. So I'm going to just use the same method. So I think I'm going to need to fold it down like that, and I may need to tape this, so let's get some tape. Okay, let's position, where is it going? Let's position that in the middle, and I'm just going to tape this to the mat so we don't move. Oh, hang on, let's do that bit again. And I'm just going to follow a really similar technique again. We're going to push some ink onto the screen. And I don't think this needs to be as perfect as much. It's just going to be a packaging box. Take our squeegee, and I would actually usually do black, but for the purpose of this video, let's just flood the screen with some ink. For the purpose of this video, I am just going to still use my gold. Right, let's push that down, and then push the ink through the screen. Oh, okay, that worked better than I thought. I haven't aligned it correctly, and I would have used black ink, but that could work really well for some really simple branding on some cardboard boxes. Ta-da! I don't know if you can see the sheen. I'm trying to show it here, and I'm not sure I'm doing it in the best light. I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'll put the box up, but that looks really, really good. Typical it was off camera, but I've just done a really nice example on a box. It's in gold, which looks nice because it's really subtle. Once it's dry, I will show you the final result, but I'm really happy with the results of how this one has turned out. I was actually set out pretty much to do t-shirts and apparel, but I think it works super well with adding branding to your own packaging. Let me just take you back a little bit. I don't know again if you can see here the shimmer on the box, but the ink is beautiful. It feels high quality. It feels like a really premium finish to a box, and what essentially is just a really cheap box for postal adds just that next level of just finish, which once the screen has been set up, it was literally a matter of seconds. It was just the case of flooding the ink once with the screen and then running it over 2 to 3 times. So it probably took, what, less than 20 seconds or so, which I think is definitely worth it for the beautiful results of the box. I'm wanting to do a different colour, so I'm just going to wash the screen, just taking the excess off the screen for now, and I might just flick over to a black. You'll have to excuse the noise for the next bit because the laser machine is still going and I've got the doors open, so there's probably a lot of background noise, but hopefully the mic is working enough so you can hear me and not so much the background noise. So I am just going to do my logo onto a tote bag. I do just want to move this over slightly because I haven't quite aligned that where I'd have liked to. Wiggle it. I think that should be okay. So I am just going to go in with some straight up black. Nothing too exciting for this one, but I do want to keep it quite plain and simple to kind of match the logo above. Grab my squeegee. It's a bit tough. Let's take this off. Very conscious not to get any spillages anywhere, so I'm just keeping some wipes at hand. It's quite a glossy black at the moment. I'm just going to add this to the screen and then I'm just going to drag through. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's put that aside. Let's have a lift. Ah, perfect. So that turned out better than I thought it was. I don't know why, I kind of was a little bit hesitant that it was going to bleed or anything, but I will show you the results of this one. Let's bring you around with me. Sorry, it's having a bit of a hard time focusing. Let's see, there we go. And there's the results. These look super clear, super good. Really crystal clear. Because I'm happy with that result, I am going to carefully just put it aside to dry, and then I'm going to press them a little bit later on. Whilst we have the black ink on, I'm going to do one of these larger boxes and just give this a test. I'm going to keep you here so you can have a better view. Let's just add a little bit more ink. And again, I'm just going to use a wipe to keep everything clean. And then I'm just going to take my ink and run it through the screen. Pick that up. And that one has bled a little bit. So it's probably my mistake, but it's still good enough for something like a packaging box. The screen has just finished and I'm just going to have a look at the time. It actually took 1 hour and 39, which is a little bit of a eye-watering time. So I guess if you're doing designs with that in mind, you really have to think of doing something that is going to be able to reproduce and use that design. So if you are an illustrator, for example, and you know that that is your design that you can then create from that one design 100 t-shirts, for example, or 1,000 t-shirts, then that's going to be fine, because 1.5 hours of engraving is yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Of engraving onto the screen is completely fine, because essentially you've got 100 t-shirts to do from that one design. If you're going to be constantly swapping and changing your design, this may not be for you, but that's just the nature of screen printing. Let's have a look. Let's just remove it from the base. I'm just being ever so careful to not mess with the laser, and gosh, you can see how finely detailed. So I did this design and it says always do a mic test, which is kind of taking a little bit of a joke on myself, because at the start of this video I filmed the whole of it without doing a mic test. I tell a lie, I did do a mic test, I just thought that I'd heard correctly and actually I hadn't. So fast forward everything, I then put it on Instagram saying what shall I print, what design should I come up with? And Millie from Blink Lettering actually said, always do a mic test as a joke. So here we are. Credit to Millie for this. So I've done a little bit of a fun design, but I've also done it in a way that has teeny tiny detail, and I don't even know if the camera is going to pick that up, but can you see how tiny that lettering is? Now this might be just way too small for the design, but the nature of this was to see how small I could go. I'm just now going to go and just quickly blast the screen with the air compressor just to make sure it's nice and crisp and clean, and then we can get over to the printer machine to run some ink through. The next one I'm going to use is the xTool Silver Glitter. Just going to put that aside. And what does it actually say about this? For use on fabrics, cottons, polyester, blends, linen, synthetics, paper and cardboard. Pre-wash and test samples before production. Shake it up before use. It can be washed after 48 hours of natural air drying. Looks like my camera doesn't want to focus on that, but this looks super pretty. Ooh, right, let's dab some on the screen. I don't know why I keep getting quite surprised, but ta-da! Here it is. I think I've probably positioned it a little bit too high. It's fun, I like it. I like how it's come out. I do think the t-shirts have absorbed quite a bit of ink, so I'm going to do another one, but see if apply more ink, what that looks like. Results for the first one. I don't know how easy this is going to come across on camera, but you can still see parts of the t-shirt underneath in comparison to this one where it's a lot more solid in the colour. There's not much of a break in between and you can't see much of the t-shirt underneath. So with that in mind, I'm going to do the same results for a final t-shirt. Here is the finished result. So I don't know if you can see from this one, but it's nice and clear, the test print. I'm now going to just put these on the heat press to iron them out and present them a little bit better. Big thank you to xTool for sending me the screen printing kit. It has been so much fun to work on. I can't wait to create some more products and use some more designs, and I will be, of course, you'll be seeing that in later videos. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions about any part of the process that you've seen today, let me know in the comments below and I will be sure to help you out. And until next time, thank you. Goodbye, guys.